Hey, Matthew. Hey, Mary. Do you have a good holiday? Spend time with your family. Hopefully you did not purchase anything today from big stores. I had been out. I protested for about 30, 45 minutes. And it got so cold that I just couldn't do it anymore. And I want to talk about that too. So there's one thing that I get yelled at a lot when I go out and protest. And I go out solo a lot because I don't really know many people in my town. I don't know anybody. I literally just moved to Idaho. Yeah, so it's Black Friday. Tomorrow is Boycott Cyber Monday. We've been planning for this for a while. It's finally here. But I wanted to go a step further today, and I was like, okay, well, traffic in my area was pretty decent. There was a lot of traffic flow, so I was like, you know what, I'll go out and protest. It was like 29 degrees. My hands are like frozen. My legs are frozen. But I went out there, not just with my boycott signs and stuff, but free speech signs, and I bring an assortment of stuff. And one thing that really pissed me off today, and I've seen this before, but I get yelled at a lot saying to get a job, and I never get the opportunity to tell these people, a rebuttal, because normally they yell it because they feel confident and they can drive by and yell whatever at me, and they drive by. So I kind of want to say what I would say to these people that yell at me, like get a job, things like that, things that they make assumptions that I'm lazy or that I'm jobless, or that not having a paid job is somehow makes me less of a human being. And I've spoken openly before that I am disabled, and I'm not ashamed of that. I have a back injury. I have other health issues, like nothing that's going to kill me or anything, but I have health issues that prevent me from holding a job like in retail or delivery or fast food, or, jobs that require lifting I can't do anymore. And that's just the reality of it. Which is another reason why I found Become Ungovernable, because, I had more time on my hands. And I used to run a jewelry business that I made handmade check glass jewelry. I didn't make the check glass, but I made the jewelry, and I had a business, and who knows, it could have succeeded. I don't know. I was at the point in 2016 at the very end where I was like, okay, I either need to go towards activism or go towards full force with my business. And I was like, it didn't make sense anymore for me to sell jewelry to women, and they didn't really need this jewelry. It didn't benefit their lives, So anyway, I'm getting off subject. Hello, everybody. Hey, Brian. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Annie. Hey, everybody. So I went out protesting today. I was only out there for like 30 minutes, but does it matter how long you go out there? Because especially when it's cold or when it's super hot, that, limits my time out in the sun or out in the cold. And I'm like still trying to warm up. So today I got yelled at. It was a man and a woman that was driving in a big truck. They were like probably 30 years old. That's not super significant because I get yelled at from all different age groups. It's mostly white middle-aged men, or men over the hill a little bit. It's normally men, and that's just my area. It may be different in other areas. Sometimes it's male teenagers. Very rarely is it females, actually, now that I think about it. But I got my Become Ungovernable shirt on today. And I'm going to show you these. I'm going to show you these posters. I brought them inside. Normally I keep them in my car because they're kind of heavy to carry. But I'm going to show them to you, and I'm going to give you some time to react to it. So if you guys watch these and Respond how you would if you were in a car, just verbally, okay? You tell me if any of these deserve to be harassed. Any of these. It's hard to be in the shot with it. There you go. Now, I know that these are thought-provoking and maybe even emotion-provoking, but at the same time, I would hate to be one of the people that, they feel threatened by this type of thing. One more, flip it to the other side. And I always do double signs because when you hold it up at an intersection, if you hold it up like this, you can flip it and they can see it from both angles. So you can, get two sides at once. It's not a difficult thing. And here's some boycott ones. No, that's not the boycott one. Hold on. Here we go. I mean, these are common knowledge, in my opinion. I mean, for someone to see this and become angry, it makes me more convinced that I need to be out there. We all need to be out there sending these messages to our town because there's people who don't understand this. And it says, I hope it means something to people that I would go out there and do it when it's so fucking cold. But I just want people to save their money. I want them to save their money. We vote with our wallets, okay, people? We vote with our wallets and we show our worth with our actions. And I may not have a full-time job that pays, but not all jobs pay money. And it's hard for people to imagine a world where people do things because it's the right thing to do, not just because they're going to get money for it. So I'm proud to be a full-time activist, and I'm proud to say that that's my job, even though I don't make money from it. It's worth more to me than a paycheck. And so for people to drive by me and say harassing things like get a job and insult me physically, I just brush it off. Thank you, Alicia. I do try, and that's all, we can ask of anybody, but we have to start getting in the street, even if it's doing solo missions. Little acts of civil disobedience can go a long way. So you don't have to wait to have a whole bunch of people along with you, and you're going to get slandered, whether you're doing it online or you're doing it out in the street corner. You're going to get harassed, and that's just the reality of it. I take my chair with me, and because of the fact that people assume if you're sitting that you're lazy, I try and walk around and I try and I do this motion where I go like this and just shake it, because if you shake it and you're out on the street corner, they're more likely to look at it. And holding it above your head. Sometimes I'll hold like 3 or 4 until it gets heavy, but so I was out holding these today. Oh, what is it called? Damn, I forgot the name of it. There was this trucker. I want to say it's Swish or something like that. Swift. Some type of trucking company that goes by the name Swift. He flipped me off today. I forget which sign it was. I think it was a free speech sign, and he flipped me off. So just so you know, the driver from the company Swift is anti-protester. I'm not even sure if he read my sign. I think he just didn't like me out there, and that's common. We have to start getting on the street. We have to start encouraging people. I mean, just imagine. Think if we had no more internet. If they're going to eventually, it's likely they're going to take our internet if they can't control us, which they already know that we can't. Once we start being really organized, what if they take our internet? We need to start building a revolution in our own towns. Not just in our own towns, but around organized efforts to destabilize this corrupt government, this corrupt system that no longer works for us. Okay, so I'm going to show you some more. You tell me how radical they are. Okay. I want to get in there too, okay. Tell me how radical you think this is. Does this look super radical? It's almost comical. Hold on, I can't read your things without my glasses on. Alicia, why are you saying YouTube's gone? What's happening with YouTube? I mean, BitChute, we've never been censored on there. Hey, Bill. Hey, Pamela. I hope you had good holidays. I hope you did not purchase today. Please don't purchase online tomorrow. It's a very small collective effort to not purchase, to save our money, spend it on things that matter. Oh, this is the one that the Swift truck. This is it. This is it. And like I said, I'm not even sure if he saw the sign, but he flipped me off. I think it's most of the time if a person's in a truck like that, like a corporation truck, they won't acknowledge me at all. But I think it's funny when they go out of their way to do something negative, because it's like, you're on company time. So, you know, I don't think your bosses would approve of that. How radical do you think this is? It's pretty radical, isn't it? Oh, it gets worse. We're going to get worse here. You might want to sit down for this one. These are the ideas that I'm bringing to my town. And as simple and maybe, boring as they sound, it's something that I really believe in. I think that we should empower the homeless. I think that we should stop forgetting about them. They've been impacted by our system more than anybody. So we have people, complaining about our votes and stuff. Let's look at the homeless. Let's look at the people that have been disenfranchised more than anybody. The people who are on death's doors. It's winter now, okay? And it's going to get colder. It was like 30 degrees today. So I went out with this sign today. You want to find out? Hold on. You want to find out how you can empower the homeless? Go to this website right here. This is one of my favorites. Pretty radical, huh? Pretty radical. If you think this is radical, then you got a problem, not me. What's really good is when you're doing posters, do it in red paint. Do it in paint because it's cheaper, obviously, and then outline it in black, and that makes it where you can see it really far. And another tip: don't use too many words, because as clear as this looks, people probably aren't reading this. I tend to use these, if it's wordy like this, I tend to use them when in places where there's a lot of foot traffic, because they can read the longer ones. Oh, here's a good one. I didn't use this today, but I totally endorse this message. I'm going to get banned on Facebook. Just know it. This has caused me more police interference than any poster I have. I've had people, literally grown adults, calling the police because they see the fuck word. They're fine with their kids growing up in a world ran by pedophiles, war hawks, corruption, pay to play. They don't care about that at all. genocide. They don't care. But don't say the fuck word. Don't show. I've had moms literally pull over with their kids in tow and say, I don't want my kids reading that. My kids shouldn't see that word. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you parked on the side of the road letting them read it? I mean, people are fucking stupid. Here's another radical idea. Bum, bum, bum. Pretty radical, huh? Pretty fucking radical. We're going to go through all of them, because why the fuck not? This is the one I made today. Because I saw this on somebody's Facebook, and I just really liked it. So I was like, I'm going to do it. This got a lot of honks, a lot of thumbs up. People did like it. They liked the idea. You know, I would support the impeach idea if it was impeach everybody, but it's not. It's a selective effort that is going to do more harm than good, because it's going to make people think that they have a say in this government. They've been manipulated to think if they remove Trump, then all of a sudden their problems are gone. Newsflash, the system is intact. It will stay intact until we start protesting, until we start, committing acts of civil disobedience, until we start educating our neighbors and our family and our, people in our town. And it's as simple as taking a paintbrush and writing out your thoughts. Here's a pretty radical one. Pretty radical. Pretty radical. Pretty rad. Pretty radical. Got just a few more. And I go out and I have, I don't know if you can see, I have a thing. I got this from Michael's, like just there after their truck day. Here's a pretty radical one. Newsflash, Epstein didn't kill himself. He's a pedophile. He was a pedophile who's now deceased. He is not on a desert island or not on a tropical island raping children with Ghislaine Maxwell and the prince. He's not in Buckingham Palace sipping Mai Tais. He's not. He's deceased. There's no evidence to prove otherwise. He was a liability, and our government sucks. How are we going? Are we getting through these? Making sense? Making sense to people? I think this was, I want to say, Truth Dig maybe, or Truth Hedge, or I'll look it up later. But you can just look it up on Google. I mean, this is, the police in my area don't like this one at all. Get a lot of honks with this one. Imagine that. Okay, this is not child friendly, so remove your children. You got 30 seconds. 3 seconds. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. True story. Pretty radical, isn't it? Letting people know the truth. Pretty radical. This upsets a lot of people. I've had people call the police on me for this. They're fine with it happening. They're fine with the elites protecting pedophiles because the elites are pedophiles. But don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't let anybody know. One more. I like carrying this one with me. Partnered with this one. And then rotating. And then if a cop goes by, I make sure to follow them across as they drive so they can read it. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I dance. I don't care. I don't care how silly I look. Fuck them. I want to get their attention, and I was freezing today and my leg was going numb, but I didn't want to sit in my chair because if I sat in my chair, then I would freeze to death. So here's a good one. Pretty radical. Radicalness. All done by hand. And I've still had people ask me, who pays you? Who pays you to do this? I said, no, I just have a moral compass. What about you? Who pays you? I'm going to hold this one extra long. Screenshot this. Do something. Copy and put this on Twitter. Let people know. It's so simple. I mean, this took me, probably 20 minutes. And this was when I was using markers. I learned since then you can use paint. It's a lot quicker. Yeah, it's like portable memes. Oh, I have more. If you want more, I'll show you. You see behind me, I have a lot more. These are just the ones that I had with me today. Okay. More radical. Super rad. Has anybody seen any of these today that shock you or that you think might be untrue? And that's why you get people that act out and they flip you off or they'll cuss at you. And you just have to suck it up and you have to get used to that because Americans do not like truth. There are some people who do, but we need to make them more tolerant. And by doing that, we got to get out in the street. You have to tell them information that you know to be true. And, they'll become more, less resistant to it the more they see it. And I try and put humor in it sometimes. And color, definitely use color, a lot of color. Pretty radical, isn't it? Here's a super radical one. I think I'll go through more because fuck it. Why not? When I'm out, I'll take pictures quickly because I hate taking pictures and I hate taking pictures in public, but I do it because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. And my phone doesn't have much memory, so it's not like I can take a video. I will, however, if I see police coming at me, I will clear everything in my phone and take a video. It'll let me take 30 seconds at a time. Pretty radical, isn't it? I'm going to get some more. Hold on. Let me put these up. Okay, we'll do a little more. Because I love these. These are everything. It's years I've collected these over the years. I made this for Julian's birthday earlier this year. Here's a radical, super, super radical. Hold on, let me see if I can. Here we go. Hopefully this doesn't get me blocked on Facebook. Let me read these. I'm not reading the comments. Hi, everybody. I hope you had a good holiday, whatever you want to call it. Good get together with your family. Please don't buy anything today or tomorrow. Today is boycott Black Friday. Tomorrow is boycott Cyber Monday. That means no online purchases tomorrow. Here's another one. I like to put this one with something else. If I'm sitting, I'll have one between my legs and then I'll have another one above my head. like if I have a lot to say that day. Okay. Do you want me to go on, or is this dumb? Thank you. I appreciate it. These are a little old, but it's still... This is one of my favorites too. And I made this after Julian Assange was taken into Belmarsh prison on April 11th. And he inspired me when he was holding that book by Gore Vidal. So I made this quote. Most of the time people don't understand. They don't get it yet, and they don't get it. But the point is not for them to immediately see this and understand that it relates to them, but it's to inspire their brains to maybe think about it later. Even if they're like, oh, there's a crazy girl out there today, and then, maybe they'll talk to somebody to be like, oh, she's not crazy. Actually, I've spoken to her. Or maybe I saw something she said the other day and it wasn't crazy, causing people to just think twice. You can see I moved, so there's like still boxes, but ignore the boxes. I know this is pretty radical. It's going to get more radical as we go on. I've been flipped off for this. I mean, it's simple things that are not really arguable, and people do. And it makes you think, man, I really need to be out there. If they're confused by this, we have a serious problem here. This is a good one. It's kind of big. This was actually, I think, a quote from Lee Camp. I think a tweet. If I can hold it. Hold it right. Hold on. Here we go. Now this is a lot of words to put on one poster. So, hey Adrian, did you have a good holiday? I put hashtag become ungovernable on a lot of my stuff because even if they don't understand what this means, they maybe will look this up. And the more people that we have to support become ungovernable, the better. Everything I do is to benefit the movement, is to benefit become ungovernable, to educate people on what it means, and to unite people. I don't use this one. I haven't used this one lately because I gotta fix that. Here's a pretty radical one. I know this might trigger some people. I mean, hopefully not on my friends list, but if you share this, it may trigger you. Ah! I am subject to do weird things at any given moment. You can ask my husband. Isn't that true? Yeah. People get really fucking confused if I use this sign and my love not hate and put them together. It blows their mind. Blows their mind. Because people always think things in like a either left versus right. So I always try and do things a little differently and show another perspective from outside the system. So I want people to know, hey, QAnon, PSYOP, but then I also want them to know, hey, peace and love. And they're like confused by that. This is pretty radical too. Hope I don't get banned. Now, I'm not saying we have 12 years. I'm not saying that we need to invest in NASA or Elon Musk. I'm not saying that we need to prepare for Planet B because I'll tell you now, You're not, even if they do get a way to fly to another planet, we're not going to be invited. We're not going to be invited. We're going to be left here with this disastrous planet that they have set up for us. We're not going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going anywhere either, but they'll sure as fuck put money into it. This feels therapeutic. Being able to help. Some more truth. Pretty radical truth. Real quote. Please look it up. If you don't believe me, I don't care. Look it up. Look it up. Don't care if you don't believe me. Look it up. That's what I say to people when they drive by. If they say something like on the lines of like, so they don't believe me, I go, look it up. Look it up. Don't care. Look it up. Trying to read these comments as it goes. It's a big club and we're not in it and we don't want to be. He did say it. Yeah, there's a video of it. They just laugh. Have y'all seen any of these yet that you disagree with? Any of them that trigger you, that you can prove are not true? Please feel free to let me know. These are the type of things that we need to be getting out and telling people. Physically getting off our computers. I mean it. Getting off our computers and going and putting ourselves in situations that are not comfortable. Today, even though I was only gone for less than an hour, I was putting myself in an uncomfortable situation where I could be in my chair, comfy, cozy, and I got out there and it was freezing cold, and I got a few people honking, a few thumbs up, a lot of people smiling, a few honks. In the short time that I was out there, people saw me and said, "Wow, she's out there pushing a message that she believes in," and I there's value in that, even though a lot of people want to tell me that there is not value. There is, and I want you guys to know it too. I normally do this one with something that CNN does never talk about, obviously. Usually it's either something about pedophilia or corruption or Julian Assange or Iran. Obviously, you can tell I'm inspired a lot by Julian Assange and Deb Delapiana as well, Chelsea Manning, Aaron Swartz, John Kiriakou. Oh, this is not a poster. This is, I was writing down Jeffrey Epstein, a timeline of his victims, and I don't think you can read it, but there's a lot. Here's a pretty radical one. A lot of people don't understand this yet, but they will. They will one day. Did I show you this one? No, this is not. This is different. This is a Deb Delapiana quote, actually. I totally jacked this from you, Deb. Sorry. Sorry. She don't care. She knows I steal her mind all the time. My sticker broke, so I had to edit it. I don't know if you can tell. Broken sticker. Should have brought my other ones in. Here's a good one. Screenshot this bitch. I won't do that. Pretty radical. Hey, Darla. Hey, Elizabeth. It's posters with Sarah frills. I really enjoy this. I enjoy putting what I want to on a sign and going out and just sharing my message with people. It makes me really excited and happy, and I feel I get to let out my creativity, and it's therapeutic. Very therapeutic. Bum bum bum. This one's really controversial. This is for all the Bernie supporters and Trump supporters and Tulsi supporters. Unity with corruption makes us complicit. We are responsible. We legitimize this system. We legitimize these candidates, these people who make promises and they will never fulfill them. You're not getting adequate health care. You're not, every 4 years we fight over our rights being taken away, and they fearmonger us, and they manipulate us. They create fake Craigslist ads to make us hate certain people, and they don't actually oppose each other, the left and the right. They don't. It's all kabuki theater. People will drive by and they'll look at me like this. Like, it's pretty funny, like really funny. Yeah. This is very, very important. Everybody should be out there telling people this. And it's not to promote defeatism. It's not to promote complacency at all or inaction. It's to promote positive influence in the right direction, which is outside the system, because there will not be any reform from within. Everybody needs to know that now. The ungovernable truth is out there. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. But you know what's scary? Not doing shit about what we know needs to be fixed. That's what's scary. I have more, but only if you guys tell me you want more. If you give me a bunch of hearts or comments, I'll go pull out some more. There's a lot. So if you're one of those people who's not going out and protesting, and you're physically able to, please, I don't know what I can do to encourage you guys to get out there. Get your yellow vest or no yellow vest, it's up to you. I like to go out there with my Chuck the Vote flyers, keep them in my pocket. I also keep my little business cards, because if there's somebody that I really want to get a hold of, then I can do so. See? And let them know, become ungovernable. And let them know who I am, because I'm not trying to hide who I am, I'm going to get some more, because I like showing up. Why not? Hold on, I got a problem here. Forgot I had small ones. amongst the big ones. Okay. Look it up. It's another look it up. Look it up. Look it up, people. Screenshot it, look it up, save it for later, pass it around, give it to your aunts and uncles, let them know, look it up. I've had a lot of coffee today. I think it's starting to die down. Oh, this one gets me, the police called on me a lot, but I'm proud to share it with people because they need to know. Look it up. Don't get paid to do this. I just do this because I want people to know. That's the only reason. Look it up. Some of these are from our protests in Boston. I save as any sign that I can that's salvageable. Sometimes I'll even repaint over them if I need to. Oh. Look it up. It's real. It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a left-winger. I'm a no-winger. Look it up. Seth Rich, he leaked the DNC's emails and he died. He got bullets in his back right after he leaked the emails to WikiLeaks. And Bill Binney, he said that he's confirmed there are emails, I believe, communications between Seth Rich and Julian Assange or WikiLeaks with the NSA. So look it up. NSA, Bill Binney. Conversations between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks. And he's dead now. Look it up. Please read it. Not a conspiracy theory. And these are things I just take to my town, so anybody can do this. I mean, it would shock me if any of you guys said that you don't know how to make a poster and sit in a chair. Pretty radical. I dare anybody to challenge these statements. This is more from our Boston protest. So you'll see some that we've already been using. This is Marla's. She's got a picture that says "fuck the system." This is the one she was holding. Hey Marla, I don't know if you're here. You'll probably see this later. Fuck the system. That means no voting. It means doing something on top of not voting. Radical. Check the vote. Today we're just going to plug everything. Pretty radical concepts. I hope you guys can understand this. It's not to be mean. mean Sarah saying mean things, bullying people again. Don't bully me, Sarah, please. Such a bully. Anti-genocide. Quit bullying me. How dare you? I don't know, I've lost it today. Radical. Hey, Marla. This is all I do. I just sit out and I choose what I want to pull out of my car and whatever I feel like. Sometimes I'll paint them the morning of and take them out with me. Hold on. We're getting into the soft posters here. Okay, hold on. I've closed this, so don't go to this URL. I closed it when DNC fraud was basically absorbed by Obstruct the Vote. We thought, okay, I need to go after the whole system. So we're like, let's not end DNC fraud protests, but I said, let's let it be absorbed by a bigger movement, which is the Become Ungovernable movement. So we didn't give up. We just made our movement, our ideas bigger. I don't even know what he's saying, so hold on. Oh. Look it up. This is true. Not a right-wing conspiracy. Look it up. There's so much evidence. I have documents that you can print out if you want documents about Seth Rich, about DNC fraud lawsuit, about Sean Lucas. I have that information. There's a money trail connected to the DNC, to CrowdStrike, that coincide with both of their deaths. This is real, not a conspiracy. And if you want an update on DNC fraud lawsuit, that's basically thrown out, and I don't think they're going to renew it or appeal. And that says a lot, because they went after it for several years and kept it going, even though a lot of just crazy shit that happened. Their website's jampack.us. They had they felt threatened for sure. The Jared and Elizabeth Beck felt threatened. Two of their potential witnesses were killed. I do not believe that Sean Lucas was. I do not believe he suicided himself. I do not believe that at all. Isaac Cappy, there's things about him that worried me, but there's also things that made me want to at least follow Isaac Cappy and see what he was saying. One thing I thought was strange was Isaac Cappy on his suicide note. It gave the wrong date. Who does that? That's weird. I'm curious to know what your theories are with that. Here we go. Not a conspiracy. Sorry, I'm really bad at holding these up. This sucks. Okay. There we go. I think I'm getting it. Okay. Pretty radical, isn't it? Pretty radical. They are heroes. They were both, I believe they were both murdered. Yeah. Here's a good one. Attention Democrats. Attention hypocrites. And sheeple. Here's the question of the year. Why do you care about Trump, but you don't care about the fraud within your own party? Let me know. Still waiting on that answer. Let's continue with it. I save everything I make. I don't ever throw away any posters unless it's like damaged beyond repair. We will never find this out. I don't think we'll ever find out. I mean, you can speculate all day long, but there's no actual proof of who killed him, and that's the problem. We know who benefited from his death. We know who was connected with his death. Whoa. Crazy stuff going on right now. And this is pretty radical. I would leave now if you are triggered by this. Pretty rad. Ooh, I got a blank one. Ah, there's a good one. I mean, how can anybody that's done any research at all deny this? How can anybody deny it? And then it boggles my mind. If you don't know what you're doing, then you don't need to be supporting it. Period. It's like, with even people that tag me and stuff, I don't let myself be used to legitimize something that I don't represent. And I know that some people may offend some people, but that's just the way it's going to be. Sorry. You want to put something on your name and you do it. Should I keep going? Or are you tired of me yet? Yeah. Hey, Brian. Hey, Lorna. Yeah, so I'm using my Facebook today to send out positive messages, things that most people don't have the nerve to say or the care. They're too chicken shit. People that are more, this goes out to the people who are more focused on, she said the fuck word. She said shit word. She said she didn't like this. Talk about the issues, please. Or shut the fuck up. Channeling Deb on that one. Sorry, Deb. I'm going to take your saying. You can find something else, Deb. Thank you for sharing. Okay, now this one I made, but then I realized that it was too small for people to read it. But I thought maybe I'll hold it up and then you can read it. Know your owners. Look how much money is going into the elections. I think this was the last election. And thank Deb for this, because I got this content from her. This is her work. She looked this up, and I made this because of her. So it's not just my work. I also try and do funny ones. I try and encourage people to discuss, even if they're wrong, I don't care. And, provoke discussion. Make them debate you. But also know what you're talking about. So be ready if you do something like this. Be ready to calmly and accurately tell them. This is from 3 years ago. We made this 3 years ago at our very first DNC fraud protest in DC. We promoted it every day for like a year. We had a year to plan for it, and we had about 40 people maximum. So if that gives you an idea of how long it takes to achieve a real grassroots protest, I get that it's hard, that people are struggling right now and travel may be difficult to come by. Save up every penny you have, because we need people October 3rd, 4th, and 5th of 2020. We need to show our volume, we need to make them accountable. Okay. I'm actually almost done. Don't worry. Okay, here's another one. Take your kids out of the room if you don't want them to see this. Oh, that's not the one I thought. I thought it was something else. I'll show that in a minute. But that's the emails. Thank you, WikiLeaks. Thank you, Seth Rich, for your sacrifice. We do appreciate it. This is an American, and I pay my taxes, and I appreciate you. American citizen, and I appreciate WikiLeaks. Please support Become Ungovernable October 3rd, 4th, and 5th of 2020. We're going to be empowering the homeless. We're going to be obstructing the vote. We're going to be protecting truth tellers like Julian Assange, like Chelsea Manning, like Seth Rich. We couldn't help Seth Rich. He was, I think his fate was sealed the moment he leaked those emails. WikiLeaks tries to provide an avenue for people to leak information so we can know what our government's doing. Seth Rich was just a very sad consequence for what he did. He put himself on the line. I don't think he knew that he was going to be killed. I think if he had been maybe more verbally active in the activist community rather than just trying to work within the DNC, he wasn't so outspoken. I think there was only like one video of him really questioning voter integrity, and that was done on a professional level. He wasn't really involved in like activism, and I think that that's one of the things that made him more easily killed. Very sad, and I will continue to talk about him until the day that I am no longer here. I brought this one to a Democrat-hosted Women's March. It was not accepted very positively. But I feel like truth is love. And so when I go out and protest, I just try and show people love by telling them the truth. And sometimes it uses the fuck word. Sometimes it uses shit. Sometimes it uses profanity, but I do that to get their attention. Some people focus on only the cuss words and they don't focus on the actual reason why I'm out there in the first place. But you can't help everybody. Some people just don't care. This is pretty radical. You might have to sit for this. If you like this message, screenshot it and share it. Obstructthevote.org. If you go to becomeungovernable.info, that is our DC event page, but it also has Obstruct the Vote, a link to Obstruct the Vote. It has a link to our boycotts page. It has a link to our Obstruct the Vote, all of our other stuff. Oh, here's a small one. This is going to be good. Okay, so I made these. And these are the ones I ended up not using because it was kind of smeared by the time I got in the car. I was going to put these on street signs. I think I actually still may do it. Just little things like this to staple onto poles. Wherever there's wood, or if it's on a metal pole, then tape it. Just little hints to wake people up. This was the day that Julian Assange was taken into custody. He was ripped from the embassy. I believe he ran to the women's restroom, I believe, and they went in there and got him and yanked him out. I was so emotional that day. I remember it very vividly. Just little common things to help people get one step closer to wake up. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, it looks like I finger painted this. I think that's part of why I haven't posted it yet, but maybe I'll do another neater version. I'm a little bit of a neat freak when it comes to posters. Like, if I don't think it looks good, then pretty radical. What do you guys think? Radical? Common sense? I quote people too. Sometimes you might see you on here. So, and I won't tell you in advance. I just do it. So, sorry. If I like what you say, I'm going to quote you. I don't know what I was doing with this one, but it's good. It's a good message. That's a good one too. Politician fly. Here's another good one. These are not radical concepts. This is what Become Ungovernable is. It's teaching people, teaching the next generation to question. And to do that, we have to get out there and we have to be examples for them. I don't consider this sneaky. I just, just being me. Here's a good one. Julian Assange has inspired me so much that I can't even express to you right now. Everything I do is inspired by him. He has put himself on the chopping block for us, and he's not even an American citizen. He's an Australian citizen that was given legal diplomatic asylum that was illegally and unjustly taken from him. He has had his hands tied behind his back for almost a decade now. He's had countless mainstream media narratives slander him and maliciously just try to discredit his reputation, and it's effectively worked. Sad to say. Yeah. These, just going out there with these signs, I'm getting an accurate idea of how many people in my area are awake enough to start to, mobilize, start to join, become ungovernable. Like, I find how many people we need to help versus how many people are ready to mobilize and to take a stand. And there's a lot more of us than there is them. I can tell you that now. This is one that I made for Julian Assange's birthday, where I hosted an event in Moscow, Idaho, and I wanted to make something that people could come up and read. So you may not be able to read it, but I have all these, so if you want visual copies of it, hold on. I can give them to you to print out. Selected books, and then was kind of thinking like 7th grade science club project type thing. And then trying to get people to honk, because the more you have to tell them to honk, but if they honk, then that gets the attention of other people that wouldn't have looked at you without that person honking. So it gets more attention. So if you want attention, tell them to honk. You got to be specific, people. Be specific. Here's a really radical one. For all the females out there. And a lot of people will see this driving by and they think that, oh, she must be a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not. I wouldn't even consider myself a progressive, because progressive to me does not mean what people think it means. It's being misused. I've never had an abortion, and I probably will never get an abortion, but I do not believe that we should give our government more power over the people, because right now what we're seeing is people wanting to become ungovernable. And again, that does not mean that we should have no government. It just means that we should not have this government in place, and we should fight for a government that represents us. And it's not going to be from in the system. You're not going to get it where you're trying to get it. This is show and tell today with these posters. I didn't even intend to do this, actually. I just meant to tell you about my day. It's just plain and simple. I was just going to put these on street signs, and they intended to last a while. Ooh, I got some blank ones. Yeah, buddy. I forgot about this one. I should put on there, or Trump hats. I made this for the Women's March. I know this one. I'll hold it on one more time. Screenshot this shit. These make me happy because I can say whatever I want, and I'll have police come up to me, and they'll ask me not to hold the sign up, and I'll be like, you can't tell me that I can't do that. I was like, you can't tell me that, and they're like, we're not telling you can't. We're just asking you not to. And you know what you say to that? You say, okay, sir, thanks. Have a good one. And they say, well, what's your name? What's your address? You say, okay, thanks. Have a good one. They say, where are you from? You say, okay, thanks. Have a good one. I forget what it is. Pop Brothers at Law. They say, shut the fuck up. That's what they do. They tell you to shut the fuck up. You be polite. You say as little as possible, and you shut the fuck up. This isn't over decades. It's probably over about 3 years. And I still have like 3 more boxes. I'll get to show you the ones right here in a minute. This gets me flipped off a lot too. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Okay, now the next sign, just know that there's a reason why I don't use it out in public. Is because it's not very neat, but I'm going to show it to you guys anyway. Because it's true. Look it up. It's supposed to say 2G, 3G, 4G, but I don't know if you can. I had to repaint over it because I like to reuse signs, and I was like, I just don't like how that looks. But you can see here pretty well. This is real. I have the, what's his name? Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul. Look up Dr. Paul 5G. And if you can't find it, then ask me later on Facebook or Telegram or whatever, and I'll find the link for you. It's a really good in-depth research about it. All right, let me know if this is getting boring here, because I really enjoyed this, so I hope it's not. Give me thumbs up and hearts if you agree. Let's do a poll here. Must be lagging a little bit. Hey, Lise. These are not radical, but for some reason, I take them onto a street corner and I'm getting flipped at, cussed at. People tell me, oh, well, get a job. Or a few weeks ago, someone called me a swamp monster. I don't know whether they thought that I was Republican or what, or whether they're just, bigots. There was one guy that said, he said, get a job, you lazy piece of shit, or something like that. Or no, he said, what did he say? He said something about me sitting down. And I go, oh, I said, I'm disabled, so you're a bigot? Is that what you're saying? And he drove off because there's not a lot of time to rebuttal. And you know what? And then I thought, why did I just put myself down like that? Why did I explain to him that I was disabled? I shouldn't have to tell him that. I shouldn't have to tell him that I have a broken back and that's why I sit down, But we do have a problem with bigotry in this country. There is no fucking doubt about that. And it is not just on the right. It is not just on the left. It is both sides of the spectrum. All people, are shelling out this bigotry. And we have to fight it by any way that we can. Just correcting the narratives, for sure. Our existence, our participation out in the street, shows people that we can do things for a morally good reason, not because we're getting paid, but because we think it needs to be done. There's a pro-Julian. Give thumbs up, free Julian. Honk if free speech matters. I try and use color. I try and, Tim, I'm going to need your help. In a minute. Hold on. Never mind, it'll be all right. It goes on and on. It's like the song that never ends. Give me thumbs up if you agree. All right, like I have on one side, it says, honk if you agree, shut the fuck up if you don't. These are not radical. I mean, I guess to some they would be radical. But if you think of it, okay, we have 7 people watching right now. We have had there's 69 comments so far. If every one of us got out once a week and pushed these messages nationally, that would be incredible. It would be incredible. Whether you join Become Ungovernable or whether you do it on your own accord with your own unique message, just get out there. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have it with Become Ungovernable attached. If you don't like us, or if you don't like me, or you think I'm a bully, or you don't like cuss words, or or you don't like, what I posted the other day, and you can't like anything that I do, that's fine. Do it on your own. Do it your own way. Do it your own unique way. Do it how you want to do it. Just get out there. I get a lot of hunks on this, a lot of positive reactions to this. We're almost done. I like this one too, because it really is about the kids, and you can tell the establishment knows that when they're trying to get these kids to boycott school and to do sit-ins and to fight climate change. It is important to get the children involved, to educate the youth, just not, pushing them to a direction that legitimizes the government. Don't get them involved in establishment agenda, please. No, if your kids are attending a protest, please, if they don't know who's hosting it, that's a problem. You don't show up to a party that you're not invited to. You don't show up to a party that you don't know the person, Same goes for protests. Now this one, I get the police called on me because they don't like the word assholes. But it gets their attention. That's what I want to do. I'm not here to make people comfortable. I'm not comfortable. Y'all aren't fucking comfortable. Why should they be comfortable? It's pretty simple concept here. We're all not comfortable. We're not going to be comfortable. Here's another radical concept. Education, not indoctrination. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good chant. Education, not indoctrination. That's a good one. Pretty radical. Screenshot this if you want to. Give me some likes if you agree. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm going to go get a Democrat in office, and then all the wars are going to end. They're going to give us, great health care. They're going to, start a bread line. It's going to be great. They're not going to give you bread. They're not going to give you money. They're not going to give you college. They're not going to give you adequate health care. They're not going to give you anything. They're not even going to end wars. Fuck y'all. They don't care. They do not care about you. They do not care about any of you. None. They don't care about your children. They don't care about your jobs. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your happiness. They don't care about your income. They just want money. They want you to legitimize what they're doing, and they want the game to continue. They do not care. They will never care. You will never make them, you will never pay enough or vote enough for them to care about you, ever. Nobody watching is rich enough to have a voice within this government. Nobody here watching matters to the government. None. None of you. This is not radical. This is true. This is proven. Our Hollywood, our movies, our television, mainstream media, comedians, anchors, they, like ABC with Amy Robach. She admitted on air on a hot mic 3 years ago, she had the evidence. She had victims. She had photographic evidence. She had the Epstein story that connected to Prince Andrew. She had that 3 years ago, and she chose her job and her silence because her boss said, no, you can't report about that. So she said, okay, no problem. And then she's just now 3 years later acting like she gives a shit. Sorry, you failed. Think of how many young children, females mostly, were trafficked by Epstein in those 3 years. How many women? How many women is on ABC and Walt Disney? Almost done, and then I'm going to go relax. I got a few more. These are good. Yeah, they only care about themselves, the celebrities as well. That's why we did the Turkey Awards. We wanted to make it fun. and, throw little truth bombs out there for the holidays. And it was a really great awards ceremony. We're going to have it every year. They are not our friends. It's a big club, and we're not in it. And we're not in it because we're not wealthy. And that's the way it is. The kind of wealth that you'd have to have, nobody here has that wealth. Nobody watching. And I love you just the same. Okay, this is not children friendly. If you have children, close their eyes. This is true. Look it up. Don't believe me? I don't care. Look it up. I do not care. Challenge me. I do not care. Look it up. This is a good question for yesterday. But yesterday nobody was out, and it was too cold, so I didn't go out. But never too late to question. Oh, yeah, Adrian, they make me sick. They make me fucking sick. People like Ellen DeGeneres, I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, so there was a big deal with her being all, nice and cozy at some game with George Bush. And she had a new iPhone, and she went on air saying, I don't understand. We just should love people. We should love each other. We should and get along. We should get along with terrorists. We should get along with war hawks and war criminals that were pardoned by Obama. We should just forgive. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget, people. That's what she said. And then to make it worse, then she goes back on air and tries to justify it by she had a show with Howard Stern. And he was like, being Howard Stern, he's a fucking scumbag too. He got famous on the radio station objectifying women. Like, I'm not trying to start some shit here, but I'm just saying, he's a scumbag. He's not a feminist. He's not a good person. He's had decades to work on his craft, and to get that credibility. Like, he was on, I think, America's Got Talent or something like that. And they want to make him act like he's some, cool guy, good hero, role model for your kids. No, he's not. And he told Ellen, he said, you know what? Here, I got a problem, or a solution for your problem. And he's like, what you do to make all these people forget that you are friends with George Bush, a terrorist. We can make people forget about it because they're so fucking stupid that all I have to do is he's like, I'll kiss you on air, Ellen, and then nobody will care that you are friends with a terrorist. And that to me was so fucking insulting, so disgusting, so slimy. I'm repulsed. I did a video on it, but I hate the dude. He's so awful. Okay. Here's a good one. I try and make them bold. I try and use as little wording as possible. So if you can use the number 2, kind of make things shorter. Make it as clear as you can. Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross. This is one of my only ones that actually say Yellow Vest on it. Hold on. We're almost done, so give me 100 likes right now. Okay. If anything ever happens to me, I have instructions with Tim that all of these posters will go to Deb. And then she can do whatever she wants with them. Worst case scenario, obviously. I like to use this with a lot of other stuff. I think that's almost it. One more. Two more. My voice is going. I'm glad I got to show you these because I felt a little bit defeated because I didn't really get to do a lot of these today because it was so fucking cold. So I do an online version. That'll be good. And this is only like scratching the surface. There's still a lot more. But that's for another day. No extradition. Publishing is not a crime. Repeat after me. Publishing is not a crime. Publishing, not a crime. I don't know how many times I can say that and finally get through to people. Publishing is not a crime. Okay, that being said, I love you guys. I'm going to go relax. I'm going to take my coat off, my yellow vest off, and give it a rest. Give it a rest. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Go relax. Don't buy anything from major corporations because fuck them. They don't care about you. They never will. They never will. They, all these corporations like Allstate, that act like they're champions of equality. No, that's a sales pitch. That's a ploy. You're being conned. I don't think any corporation should be promoting any type of equality. Fuck you. Fuck all y'all. Fuck Google. Fuck Amazon. Scamazon. Fuck Walmart. Fuck them all. Screw them. Starve them. Starve the elite. Starve the corporations that have purchased our government. Starve them. You don't need to give them your money. Keep that money in your pocket. Start stockpiling food and supplies because this economy is going to take a hit. It's going to take a dive, and the poor and the disenfranchised and the people that are already suffering are going to suffer even more. And we need to stand together and we need to unite because this system's going down. However fast we can take it down, but it's going down regardless, and we need to be prepared. And when these corrupt people are finally removed from power, which I don't ask me how, because I don't know how it's going to happen. I know that it's going to involve a lot of direct action and civil disobedience, and I got a good feeling that Become Ungovernable is going to be behind it, because that's where we're going, teaching people how to speak out, teaching them how to work together and how to organize. But you guys have to remember that when this system goes down, there's going to be people, like power is always going to be sought out. People are going to seek out power. And we need to put ourselves in a situation where the people have the power. And right now they don't have the power, and there is no other movement that's actually reaching for that power other than Become Ungovernable. And we're doing it in a way where as we grow and as we bring more people into our platform, they are helping us build this movement. So I hope to see you guys on Sundays. We have our Sunday Become Ungovernable live streams. We talk about our different projects. We talk about the Ungovernable protest in October of 2020. And it's going to take all of us, getting out there, leafletting, telling people about this protest, because I'm telling you, mark my words, we have to get people mobilized, and we need to do it now. All right, I can barely talk. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Have a good weekend. Peace out.